everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
Shaking it up on YouTube. Hey-o! Well, I always wake up in the morning to see if the world is still here, and I think we are.
We are. We're here.
I'm not sure the ceasefire is still here, but we are here.
Well, if this is the nuclear aftermath, I'll take the forecast.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
He should have started this war in November.
So it was, and it's funny. Did you watch the Caroline Levitt?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. She came out like, they must have been back there. They brought in Pete Hegseth just... Yeah, perfectly to like. So they're yelling and they're like, "All right, are you ready to get out there?" And then she's hitting her head. She's, "I'm going out there." "Yeah, but you're pregnant." "Doesn't matter. I'm going out there." And she was she was mad.
Yeah.
And almost shaking, scolding the media. "How dare you report false reporting on the fact that
the Iranians decided to close the strait?"
Yeah, and it was closed all day. In fact, the Lloyd's of London, which is the insurance company that really insures all of these ships, said no way, not yet. And in fact, the bombing was still going on yesterday, and there's this question where the White House insists that the deal did not include Lebanon, a ceasefire in Lebanon, so Israel could continue to... Actually, they stepped up their bombing of Lebanon. And Iran said, yes, it did include Lebanon, the deal did. And we said, you're lying, we're telling the truth. And lo and behold, Pakistan came along, and they're the ones that actually brokered the deal. You have to understand this. The U.S. and Iran were not negotiating back and forth together. It was going through Pakistan. And Pakistan said Lebanon was part of the ceasefire. And I just think Netanyahu said, no, it's not. And we're just, I don't know who to believe anymore. I don't know who to believe. But, man, she was scolding the media for false reporting that turned out to be absolutely true. So... where is this all going? It's like every day you tune in just for... it used to be you tune in to Trump, but I got to tell you, she's good TV. Some of her remarks when somebody asks a question, she just buries them. And when they try to follow up with a question, she moves right along.
Sorry.
She's really good. I have a feeling that she'll have the baby... in the green room, outside the area where the reporters go, and then they'll cut the umbilical cord and get her right out there. She's not going to miss a day, maybe a day. Anyway, here we are. We have a bunch to get to.
The baby gets born. Trump comes out and says, "You're fired."
Yeah. Well, she's been extremely loyal. I don't know how, and I think she's been effective. I think she's been effective. I'm not sure that I don't believe half of what comes out of her mouth. But she's effective in standing by this president loyally.
I should have clarified. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The baby's getting fired.
That's right.
Not Caroline Levitt.
Yes.
What is he?
Right.
What's the baby done for this administration?
Yeah, nothing at this point. And probably will just cry. We have an update on construction. We're getting into that season. The sun starts to come out, the warmth. What are we going to hit today? Maybe 55, 60 degrees today? Kind of. It isn't the cold morning we had yesterday.
No, that's for sure.
And that means construction season is just around the corner. We'll get into that. Megan Thomas.
It's here.
Megan Thomas. You know who Megan Thomas is? Megan Thomas is that attorney in Syracuse that put an ad up, wanted to put an ad up at the airport, and they told her absolutely no.
Well, I thought the deal was she had an ad, but it was, tiny. Didn't the ad go up, but it was just very small?
I don't think the ad ever went up. They blocked it before it went up. And it was proposed to be like a 5x8. The ads are like billboards in the airport for the most part. And now it takes up actually 2 walls. It's huge because she won in court. Free speech. She's an attorney, and she whipped him. And we'll speak with her coming up a little bit later on. And we're going to talk about your this whole thing about the governor says auto insurance is high. Mm-hmm. And then if you've seen the commercial 1,000 times, and then there's a woman that's like doing the sign of the cross, like, thank God the governor's stepping in here to lower these prices. And is it the governor? Is that why the prices are supposedly going down? Because I haven't seen any reduction in mine.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Although bundling, and actually we're going to have Lydia Perez from Utica National in. And in fact, Tim, you're on the board of Utica National.
I am in full disclosure. I am on the board.
Let's, He's going to say only good things.
Yes.
Listen, I don't think there's anything bad to say. I love we switched to them, our insurance, and bundled home and auto, and we have far more coverage for a little bit less. So that's probably your best bet. If you can bundle your home and your auto, it's probably your best bet to save some money. But we'll speak with Lydia later on this morning. Alex Carbone has some new projects going. We're going to speak with him. And then during the Caroline Leavitt press conference yesterday, I hate to circle back to this, but
circle back, Saki.
Did you see if you were watching? You saw one John Decker asking a couple of questions, and I do think one of John's questions was a little bit premature. I think the question was, how has the president talked about how this war has improved the lives of Iranians, which I found was. Have you seen the bombings? I'm not sure
Except for the bombs, everything's great.
I'm not sure we've reached improvement stage yet. And then they also, at these press conferences, they bring in people who are from these small publications, oftentimes supporters of President Trump. And yesterday it opened with one of them. This guy looked like he dragged himself out of 1971. And his question was, again, every question is how can you tell me how President Trump feels after he's done such an amazing job of bringing Iran to its knees with our glorious military? How must the president feel? How joyous is he? Thank you so much, Ronald, for that question. You are absolutely correct. It's like, are they reading the question that was handed to them? I mean, and that's usually what opens it up. I'm telling you, one of the most entertaining shows on TV is the White House press briefing.
I used to think the best political free show in the country was the Utica Common Council, but
I do believe that we have a new winner.
Do you want an early comment here from Easy?
Sure.
On what we opened up on. President ran on this stuff to fix what Biden destroyed. Gas prices have been up and down through Obama and Biden.
That's not true. The gas prices went up when Russia attacked. Come on, get your easy. Don't take the easy way out. Gas prices went up when Russia attacked Ukraine. That's when gas prices peaked. And since they had been coming down and continue to come down under Trump significantly, and we were at like $2.59, $2.89 average price. before the war. But continue, please. I just want to make sure we're getting.
I don't think we
right.
hit 259, and I gas up every day because
I have a deal. I had 259.
I know we were at 289 though.
Yes,
we were recently there. Okay, so he's the only one that will affect it, and they're talking about energy prices, gas prices. He's the only one that will affect it. And remember, this is an economic global price effect. This is not a U.S. price effect. If you would allow us to continue to be energy independent. U.S. There's a typo in here. U.S. independent. U.S. drill in New York. Maybe us drill in New York.
Yes, I think
we would even be more of an independent, wealthy nation with the amount of oil that we need.
Well, you don't understand how the oil industry works, number one. Number two, we've been oil independent for quite some time. It did not just happen last year. It happened even under Obama and under the first Trump administration.
Energy independent.
And we are energy independent.
Energy.
And that's why we do not have a supply problem in the United States like they might have in Japan right now, where they're telling people to stay home because there's not enough gas to go around. We don't have that problem. However, the prices, and this is the economic part that I don't necessarily understand why it has to be this way, but the prices do reflect what happens on a global global market. And am I correct?
You know, the problem that has to be solved, and this goes back all the way back to 1979. If you don't solve the Gulf of Hormuz problem, you haven't solved anything.
Yeah. And that has been at risk all of this time. And probably the reason why every president before has not taken the move that Trump just took, because everyone predicted exactly what would happen. Iran would start shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. And that's exactly what has happened and still happens today, even under this quote-unquote ceasefire.
Now, I don't know if Lance had... I don't know what he had, but we haven't heard from him really in a couple days. I think just maybe
we did hear a little from him yesterday.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bill, maybe they learned how to carry Trump's water watching your show and your proficiency carrying Pacenti's buckets.
It's like, wow, look at how he's doing that with Pacenti. And he brought that water into the studio, never dripped or spilled a bit of it. Yeah. Listen, again, TDS, Trump Delusional Syndrome. He can do no wrong. Your judgment has been diluted, and I'm so sorry for you. But if you can't look at something and say, this is not good, then you're not objective.
The other thing is, to follow up on a point Easy made about President ran on this stuff, I think...
He never ran on this.
Yeah,
he ran on the opposite of this.
I think, let's see. Easy's in for a conversation.
Right,
I will
Easy.
say this, though. He one of the things he absolutely campaigned on was no more wars, and specifically no more regime change wars. So, I mean, I can pull the ads. Mm-hmm. Okay, showing Joe Biden had his press secretary call on people that were handed questions, and they only called on people they knew they were going to get the right question. That wasn't entertainment. That wasn't skewed. Come on, Bill, at least a little bit of fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced is telling the truth. And I'm sorry. Listen, I'll tell you, want the truth? I could put Joe Biden and Donald Trump in a room, and they'd look like two older guys with dementia sitting at McDonald's talking about politics. Watch these press conferences. Watch the president go all over the place. If you think Biden was demented, then you have to think the same about Trump. It's really getting scary. The difference is Biden went to sleep in the White House and let everybody else run things. Trump has decided he's going to blow up the world. This is the exact opposite of what he campaigned on. But, I try not to get into it too much, but if Easy wants to talk about it, I try not to get into it too much because it just drags us all down. It's on TV all day and all night. I wake up in the middle of the night just to see what's come next. And there's always there's breaking news at 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It's crazy. But if you listen, to be fair, Biden, I was worried he was going to be able. I didn't think he'd be able to get to the podium, let alone get on a bike and ride a bike. Remember when he crashed? Yeah. That was when he was healthy. When he tipped over on the bike. But if you look at it that way, how have we come to these last two presidencies? Time to get somebody that, at the very least, has a sound mind to be able to run the country. And every time the president says he's taken one of these mental tests, there's a reason why he's taking those tests. They're giving him those tests to see how bad things have gotten. And these are tests. No one has ever passed a test. This is not an easy test to pass. A sixth grader, a fifth grader could pass that test.
They've never seen such
No
test
one's ever
scores so high.
seen anything like it. So easy, I apologize. Here's something we can agree on. Easy and I both agree that I'm thinking. We both agree that regulatory fees in New York, they're just way too high. That the governor's, it is kind of interesting that the governor talks about we need to lower energy prices when the commission that actually has agreed to raise the energy prices is the commission that she has appointed. It is kind of funny. How do you walk away from that and point fingers when they approved it all? And it's her committee, it's her commission. There's something I believe that Easy and I agree on. Today is April 9th. The weather is going to improve a little bit. We're going to warm up significantly tomorrow and maybe get a little bit of rain tomorrow, I believe. But how about those temperatures next week? Upper 70s for a couple of days next week before it cools off again. And listen, if it's 50s and 60s and then sometimes 70s, that's a pretty good spring as far as I am concerned. I imagine most people feel that way. Did the Yankees win, Davey, on Apple TV? They did not. And the Mets got clobbered.
Yeah.
By Arizona.
Was it 7-2?
The Yankees lost in a walk-off in a rally in the ninth, 3-2. They were tied 2-2.
What? Weren't they home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How they
so were the
lose in a
Mets.
walk-off?
Well, they lost I don't know. I was confused.
Well, they walked off after they lost.
Oh.
It was a strikeout walk-off.
Well,
A man in California was arrested for going into. You want to get some news stories here?
today begins the Masters.
Today begins the Masters.
Hello, friends.
It is a wonderful sign that spring is here, and unfortunately, we'll be watching the Masters without Tiger Woods.
And Phil Mickelson.
There's always excitement between the two of them, and there will be neither one this year.
First time since 1994 that neither Phil nor
Wow.
Tiger are in it.
And
It's 32 years.
I got to say, who replaces the excitement? Because Tiger Woods, whether you like him or you hate him, and believe me, he's given people a lot of reason to dislike him. Tiger Woods' ratings, absolute ratings for golf.
It's Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy right now.
But they're not the ratings Tiger was. No one is where Tiger was. And my question is, who replaces Tiger?
Scotty Scheffler,
I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
Bryson DeChambeau,
I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone
John
right now.
Rahm.
The best bet for the PGA is that after this presidency, Trump joins the PGA
He does,
Tour.
and he's never lost a golf tournament.
No.
People say he's probably one of the best out there. No, you want to know who I think is going to replace Tiger Woods? Who could have the draw that Tiger Woods has and has had? And I'm not sure he's good enough. I don't know that he's good enough. I hope he is.
Jordan Spieth.
I think the person that has the potential draw that Tiger Woods had is, again, I don't know if he's good enough, but his son.
I knew you were going there.
If his son is able to perform at the level of Tiger, it will be Tiger Woods mania all over again, right?
Yeah, and
I don't know anybody else that can accomplish what he had accomplished.
One of the things with Tiger too is that he's got some dramatic come from behind wins, and he's got obviously some very dramatic shots you can watch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It is less exciting when he's not involved.
A man in California was arrested for going into a gas station and demanding $55 worth of gas, but then refusing to pay. Are you getting this? I want $55 worth of gas, and now I'm not going to pay. He then camped out waiting for employees to give him the free gas. The explanation was given to the police officer. I mean, this is something like when our friend, and I won't bring it back to this, when our friend walked into the Friendly's ice cream store. Do you remember this? He walked into Friendly's and asked for a Jim Dandy. And after the Jim Dandy, he handed them a note that said, "Give me all your ice cream." And he refused to pay.
Is that true?
That's exactly what happened. Let's not mention the name. But yes, there was an arrest for that, unfortunately. And I don't think he even got the Jim Dandy, which is the sad part. But here he wanted his $55 worth of gasoline. And here is the explanation he gave to the officer on why he deserved it.
They want you to leave because you haven't paid for gas?
I sincerely believe that money as a unit of payment is not real.
Payment is not real.
Well, money is a unit of payment. It's not real.
Yeah.
Did he have some corn he wanted to trade?
I don't know. I swear to God. This is what's going on. I mean, we have used to be a person like this was getting help in a facility. Even in California, these facilities like New York do not exist anymore. Instead, it's like, all right, we're going to ticket you and let you go, and we'll see you the next time you try to get something for free. The Masters, as you said, starts today. There's a video online of a guy calling Augusta National and asks for a tea time during the Masters. Clearly, it was a prank, and here's audio.
Good afternoon, Augusta National. Go to.
Hey, me and my buddy were looking to get out on Twilight tonight. Do you guys have any openings?
No, unfortunately not, sir. There is no tea times available.
Oh, is something going on?
Yes, that is correct, sir. The Masters is on at the moment.
The Masters?
Yes, sir.
Any chance we could sneak out?
It's only available for members only, sir.
Any chance we could sneak out afterward, or?
No, unfortunately not, sir.
No. Okay. Thank you.
This is the new world. It used to be radio was the world of prank calls. This is where they do them today. They're done on TikTok and.
Isn't it still illegal though?
No. Remember the legal. At least depends on your state. So in New York, it is legal to record a conversation as long as one party knows. What's illegal in New York State is if you and Tim were having a conversation and I had secretly gone into your basement and put a tap on your phone and I was recording the two of you talking without your knowledge. That is illegal. But if you decided, I'm going to catch Tim in a recording here, I'm going to record Tim, you have every right to record that legally in New York State. So that prank recorded is legal. Where it becomes illegal is for us on radio, the Federal Communications Commission, which is run by a Nazi, in my opinion, just my personal opinion, who doesn't want free speech, I'm afraid. This is where we are today. But the FCC says it is illegal to record a conversation without informing the person first that they are being recorded, and then they must give you an answer of yes or no. And if they say no, you can't record them. If they say yes, you can then start to record.
Wasn't that the complaint in Utica in regards to the flock thing, which is like the shot spotter thing, that supposedly it was more than just shooting, that they could record conversations taking place on the street.
Oh, maybe that is one of the.
I think they were
like somebody could be standing below the audio and
Yeah.
a conversation could be recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's possible. It has to be somewhat sensitive if it's able to hear a gunshot and then determine pretty much pinpoint where that gunshot came from.
Right.
Pretty amazing technology. Anyway, speaking of Augusta, they got on President Trump's bad side with the Masters in the news. I don't know if you saw this, but there was I don't know which member, but a member of a committee member at Augusta National said that Donald Trump would never be a member at Augusta because he doesn't meet the qualifications. Augusta members are quiet. They are, and then after he said that, I was like, okay, now I get it. But came out, must be not a Trump fan, came out and said he will never and for that reason, he will never be a member. Trump, of course, responded by saying, I don't even care. I've got my own golf courses. What do I need Augusta for? One expert said in an interview recently that he thinks artificial intelligence could reduce the average work week from 5 days a week to 3.5 days a week. This is the CEO of J.P. Morgan. Listen to this.
We went from working 6.5 days a week to 6 days a week to 5.5 days a week to 5 days a week to 12 hours a day to 10 hours a day to 8 hours a day. I do think that there's a good chance it'll be 3.5 days a week, and in many years they'll be living wonderful lives.
Do you think how do you live the wonderful life when you're only being paid for 3.5 days a week?
Well, you see this sometimes, especially in the medical field, where you do 12-hour shifts. You 3/12s on.
That's not what we're talking about here.
And then I think this is true.
He's saying AI will do the work. We won't need the human employee, and the human employee can spend more time with family and worry about money because the average person won't be able to make any money.
They'll be able to pick up a second job now.
Yeah, the three people that still have a job will only have to work 3.5 days.
Oh, I think it's totally coming. I think we're going to have to figure out how people make their money.
That's the thing, again, with AI.
I agree.
I think these companies are going to figure out who's going to buy my products if nobody's making money.
Right. Well, that's at some point we're going to be paid just to exist, I think. I don't know. Listen, I want you to make it look like you're working. We're not going to pay you if you don't look like you're working. Yeah, but I'm not working. Doesn't matter. We got to see that you're working in order to get paid. I don't know. Maybe there will be jobs that AI can't do. And like the plumber, we use that as an example. Maybe that's what we all become, is plumbers. And listen, let's not forget we have a country music artist right now that has the number 1, number 3, and then 4 more songs in the top 40 on Apple Music. And the artist is not a real person. It's all 100% AI.
Yeah, it's...
Do you have a time for me, Davey? What do you want me to do? You better give it to me then, because I'm going to need it. What else do I have? There was an update on the Hollum story, Bob Hollum. Did you see this update? I believe KTV had it. Did you see it?
Oh, let me check.
So the update is that...
or you could just tell me.
According to state police, I'll tell you, if you don't mind. According to state police, an employee called at the rest area in the Fonda region. An employee of the rest area called police and said there was a woman who came to the line and said she was in danger for her life and it needed police to be called. The young woman, when police arrived, said that she had not been physically harmed but had been verbally assaulted, if that's such a thing. And that's what led. So if you remember in the beginning, they said there was an incident that led to the DWI. That is the incident. It was the young woman with legs like a 25-year-old, according to the video at the Sentinel. It was the young woman that actually asked for police to be called. Have you ever heard a kinetic sound fear? Tim, I'm going to go to you on this. You tend to have all of the information on stuff like this.
Yes, I have.
All right. What is it? What is a kinetic sound sphere?
Sphere?
Yeah. It's
I
composed.
thought you said fear.
Fear.
No.
I fear kinetic sounds. I've heard those when you hear the zipping.
The definition's here easy. It's fear of kinetic sound.
We all have fear of kinetic sounds.
Yes.
In fact, I think somehow my wife, when angry, makes kinetic sounds. I fear it tremendously. Have you ever heard of a kinetic sound sphere? S-P-H-E-R-E. It's composed of 850 metal parts, each suspended from a wire. Imagine a gigantic wind chime. It moves in a choreography of continuing pulsations and breaths. Here's a guy releasing all of the wires at once. You are about to hear a kinetic sound sphere. Are you ready for this? It's a big moment. Here we go. Sounds like a gigantic chime to me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's a wind chime.
It's like a wind chime, I guess. And there's a new multi-billion-dollar industry of people filming themselves doing tasks and chores to help. You're not going to believe it. This falls in line. This will be my last one because it kind of closes it out. They are making a ton of money doing tasks. They're taping themselves doing tasks and chores to help train AI robots for future tasks. Here's Stephanie Yang. Here they are traders. Here's Stephanie Yang explaining what it's all about. Here we go.
Thousands of workers are strapping cameras to their heads before starting on a list of basic tasks like cutting fruit, cleaning countertops.
I mean, this is the end. That's where your plumber gets replaced. All of a sudden, it's a robot fixing. And then one more. Route 66 goes from Chicago all the way to Santa Monica, turns 100 this year. And they are celebrating Route 66. News is coming up next.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your
WIBX Utica Road, from the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The U.S. military isn't standing down yet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump, amid a dispute with Iran over the ceasefire, posted on Truth Social just before midnight, all ships and personnel and ammunition and weaponry will remain in place until the real agreement is in place and fully complied with, adding if it's not, the shooting starts bigger and better and stronger.
I encourage the Iranians to come to the table seriously. We've seen some signs that they're going to do that. We've seen some signs of bravado.
That's Vice President Vance set to lead the negotiations with Iran this weekend in Pakistan.
Now, all of this is taking place as eyes remain focused on the Strait of Hormuz. Yesterday, we understand that just 4 vessels were able to pass through the strait. Despite the fact this is part of the agreement, the Iranians are still trying to use this chokehold as leverage at the negotiating table.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv as Israel keeps attacking Lebanon, which Iran claims and the U.S. denies was part of the ceasefire. Lebanon's president says Israeli attacks yesterday killed more than 200 people, calling it a massacre.
Dozens of Israeli strikes targeted Hezbollah positions there. Many of the targeting took place in the Dacha neighborhood of southern Beirut. And Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday talked not just about Lebanon, but also the broader goals of the operation.
We have more goals to complete, and we will achieve them either by agreement or by renewing the fighting.
An American is now under arrest in the Bahamas.
The arrest happening
4 days after Michigan mother Lynette Hooker disappeared in the Bahamas. Her husband, 58-year-old Brian Hooker, has not been charged with anything. His attorney saying this, quote, Mr. Hooker categorically and unequivocally denies any wrongdoing.
Fox's Chandler Painter. Hooker claims his wife went overboard in their small boat in choppy, rough seas as they traveled back to their yacht. The U.S. Coast Guard has opened the criminal investigation as well. In Hawaii, a doctor's been convicted of attempting to kill his wife on a cliffside hiking trip. Gerhard Koenig found guilty of attempted manslaughter. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Born on America's darkest day, 9/11/01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like FDNY Lieutenant Edward J. McDonough Jr. McDonough served at Ground Zero. He later lost his life to a related cancer. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to honor his sacrifice by paying off the family's mortgage. Donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Well, what Vice President Vance calls a fragile truce with Iran still holds before he goes to Pakistan to lead the U.S. in negotiations this weekend. Pakistan is involved in other peace talks dealing with its own conflict.
Hundreds of people have died in a cross-border conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Now, China, which is mediating the dispute, says the two sides are ready to explore a comprehensive solution. Pakistan says it's in open war with its neighbor, accusing Kabul of harboring terrorists, something Afghanistan's Taliban rulers deny. The two countries have agreed not to escalate tensions, although Afghanistan says it's been shelled across its border even while talks took place. Tens of thousands have been displaced by fighting, with 100,000 Afghans completely cut off. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Oil prices are rising back up 5%, while futures are falling on Wall Street the day after oil's plunge and a stock market surge that lifted the Dow over 1,300 points. In the NBA, the defending champion Thunder have clinched the top seed for the playoffs. Oklahoma City beat the LA Clippers 128-110. The Thunder's 7th straight win, 64th of the regular season, which ends Sunday. No team can top that. The Denver Nuggets won their 10th game in a row, beating Memphis 136-119. Golf's first major of the year about to tee off, the Masters in Georgia.
Forecast calls for 74 degrees and sunny at Augusta National Golf Club, where at 7:25 Eastern Time this morning, the 90th edition of the Masters Golf Tournament will commence with the ceremonial tee shots by three of the game's all-time greats, honorary starters Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Tom Watson. They won 11 of the 89 Masters. Nicklaus won 6. They'll lead off this Masters with the first competitors to hit the first tee at 7:40 a.m. Eastern. Nearly 3 hours before, defending Masters champ Rory McIlroy will get started today.
Fox's Jared Max. The favorite, Scotty Scheffler, he starts at 1:44 p.m. Eastern. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have a few clouds, but some sunshine and 36 degrees, looking at a high today in the low 60s. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The city of Rome receiving $10 million, the first city in the state to receive the $10 million downtown revitalization initiative twice. Now, when receiving the award, Rome's Mayor Jeff Lanigan presented Governor Kathy Hochul with a hand-painted skateboard, the Secretary of State with a hand-painted skateboard. Also in the funding announced yesterday, the city of Utica gets $4.5 million to revitalize the uptown area of the city.
Can you explain, what was the significance of the hand-painted skateboard?
Well,
is it made in Rome?
I think it's about the Rome skate park.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
Where some of the money is going to go.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. All right. And we're going to speak with the mayor on the topic coming up maybe later in the week.
Two people
facing... Oh, my God, it's Thursday.
Two people facing charges allegedly operating a prostitution ring from Manhattan all the way to here in the Utica and Rome area. Deanna DeCastro and Gilliam Cordero were taken into custody at a home on South James Street Tuesday morning. They were charged in a New York State Supreme Court indictment with sex trafficking a child, robbery, and promoting prostitution for crimes that happened between October of 2025 and January of 2026. A new partnership, Utica University and Syracuse University have an agreement for engineering-related programs. Students who graduate from Utica University can automatically enroll in undergraduate degrees for biology, biochemistry, chemistry, computer science, cybersecurity, geoscience, engineering, math, and physics at Syracuse University. And still no budget deal in place. We are now 9 days late. Last year's spending plan was 40 days late. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun with gusty winds out of the south at times at a high of 61. Clouds will increase overnight with a low of 42. Scattered showers will be possible on Friday with a high of 67. Then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Highs will approach 50 on Saturday, then closer to 60 on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, some sunshine, 36 degrees at 7:08. All right, in sports, the Giants continue the trend of hiring players who used to be coached under Jim Harbaugh. The G-men have agreed to a one-year contract with Ravens guard Daniel Falil, the former fourth-round pick, spent the first 4 seasons of his career with new Giants head coach John Harbaugh in Baltimore. He joins tight end Isaiah Likely, fullback Patrick Ricard, and safety Ardarius Washington as the latest former Raven to now find his way as a member of Big Blue. The Knicks hope to extend their winning streak to 4 games. New York hosting the Celtics tonight at MSG. The Nets have one more chance to achieve their longest winning streak of the season. Brooklyn can win its 3rd straight game for only the 2nd time this year when they host the Pacers tonight at the Barclays Center. Some news on Cayenne Anthony.
This is good news.
It is good news. He and Sadiq White both announcing that they will return to Syracuse next season for their sophomore years. Cayenne Anthony played in 29 games for the Orange this year, averaging 8 points a game. He scored 52 in the first 3 games of his college career. Anthony missed the final 2 games of the season due to injury. Now,
that is definitely telling you that Carmelo is good with the move, coaching
White
move.
Is a former 5-star recruit.
Of course he is.
He started 11 games for SU this past
Saying it's
season.
affirmation, Davey. It's affirmation.
Because him and G-Mac hooked up to bring the national championship together.
I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Mets winning streak ends at 4 games. They lost 7-2 to the Diamondbacks yesterday. The rubber match coming up tonight. David Peterson was tagged with the loss yesterday, allowing 5 runs on 6 hits and 2 walks. And the Yankees came up short 3-2 in a loss to the A's in the Bronx yesterday. Cody Bellinger opened the scoring with an RBI single in the first, but that was most of the offense the Yankees got yesterday. New York has dropped 2 of the last 3. They wrap up their 3-game series today.
What do you think of Peterson? So the Mets this year, while they are now 7-5, have had excellent starting pitching and even really good relief pitching. Each game is usually like a 1-run game, and then you bring in one of the veterans, Peterson, now kind of a veteran, right? And he gives up how many runs?
It's baseball.
It's baseball. It's early.
Yeah, I mean, there were games, believe it or not, when because remember Jacob deGrom always would have like an ERA of like 2.19, but you'd watch him pitch 6 games in a row where he went 7 innings, allowing 1 run. So somewhere in there, he gave up 6, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere
usually it was in the 5th inning. DeGrom was gold until the 5th inning.
But my point being, I mean, look, even the greatest players go through funks. That's why baseball is life.
Right.
It's
Okay.
a game of life. Quick comment here on YouTube. Nick says, I thought the president had access to Augusta National. That's what I heard. Members can't even play when the Masters are coming up.
Well, access and membership, those are two different things.
Golf coach Butch Harmon has stated that Donald Trump will never become a member of Augusta National because his personality does not align with the club's culture.
Yeah.
Despite his passion for golf and his status as a former/current U.S. president, he, quote, doesn't fit the profile of an Augusta member, according to insiders and experts.
You know what's interesting?
At one point, neither did Tiger Woods, and it had nothing to do with his being outspoken.
You know what's interesting about Augusta is how they got totally through that thing about women playing in the Masters.
Women.
How that shows how powerful that group is down there.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. A lot of old money right there.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
Lance, come on, Lance. Even Davey thinks today's show is boring. Reading the paper must be more entertaining.
That's awesome. Yeah, Davey, what are you doing reading the paper? Lance, it's only boring because we're not hearing from you, right? Right? Any others?
Jim Brewer coming to the Stanley. That's a big get for them.
That is a great get. He regularly goes there. I believe the last time I saw him might have been the Turning Stone, actually. So that's a good grab.
John says he sent us a YouTube link, and I think didn't we have Brewer on? And I think John called in with this question. He says, here's Brewer talking about SNL / Chris Farley. Bill might find this interesting. I don't know if you've ever seen
believe
this.
we did talk about that.
Yeah, where he says, am I funny? Am I really? Yeah. And he was in the bathroom snorting coke, I think.
And actually, Jim talked about that on the air here.
Yes.
And told that story to us over the phone, and he said it was one of the saddest moments of his life when here's this guy that he looked up to, Chris Farley, and Farley called him up and was all, in a bit of a bad way, drugs, alcohol, and just said, am I funny, or do people just laugh at me because I'm fat? Yeah.
Working on getting him on again.
Davey is on this, and Jim Brewer, most likely it'll be next week. We'll have him back on.
Yes.
And listen, if you get a chance to go, there's not a greater storyteller, comedian. We have our tickets. I got them immediately when they announced the show. That's because we're big fans. And I'm here to say he's also an unbelievable Mets fan.
Yeah. He used to actually have like a daily
recap
of the Mets games.
Donna this morning is piping in on your comments about dementia in the last two administrations. I agree on the dementia part. Like there is a minimum age to be president, Congress needs to pass that there is a maximum age to be president. And what would that be? What would it be? You want to know what she thinks?
Yeah.
She says maximum 62. If he can run two terms, 66, but can only run one, out by 70.
That's pretty low.
70's low. I think that in your 70s, 70's a young, 70, I think, it's where things begin to turn on presidents seems to be that 80 mark.
A lot of times on boards and things like that, you age out at 75.
75, yeah. Upper 70s to 80s is a little tough. Yeah. And listen, we're living longer. But it doesn't mean we figured out the brain stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think we figured it out.
Are we living longer? I thought we had kind of bucked that trend. That it was starting to come
little
down.
Bit during COVID, it had fallen down, and I think we're moving our way back. And Congress and Supreme Court also out by 70, no more than 3 terms. Supreme Court, you're there for life. Oh, yeah. And oftentimes you may not have competence, but what you do have is a president in office who's from the other party, who, if you were to retire, would put in someone, replace a liberal with a conservative, or a conservative with a liberal. So therefore, they keep them hanging on, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
Sandra Day O'Connor took herself out when she had dementia.
Well, one who should have is Ruth
Bader Ginsburg. She hung on.
She hung on just a little too long.
Well, were there signs that she was coming apart mentally, or was it just because
I don't think
when she died, it was a bad timing because it was President For the liberals, it was President Trump was in charge, and he got to replace her.
However,
that's the reason people think she hung on to him.
I don't. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think she was mentally. That's the problem. You'll get a 90-year-old who's sharp as a tack, and then all of a sudden a 78-year-old who is talking gaga stuff. Sorry.
Bill, some of your listeners say there's a 61-year-old in the room that doesn't know what
listen,
he's talking about.
I can't even remember. Is it 61 or 62?
Lance says not just president, Congress and senators also. It's like a nursing home.
That's what Donna has said. Look at some of these, and it's on both sides of the aisle. They just are, especially in the Senate, where they're just so old that you wonder when they're asking questions in a hearing, because they have tenure, for God's sakes. You wonder, how is this person still in Congress? Yeah, they are, but we elect these people.
That's it. The voters should
exactly
go through a cognitive test.
That's where it's tricky, because we're electing these people. You're right. And in Rome,
we're trying a cognitive test. It's called "Remember to Bring Your ID," but we can't do that either. So,
and in Rome, Ann and I were going back and forth on fraud and all this other stuff after John Mannion was on yesterday. And I said, I wish we would focus on congressional insider trading, because it is absolutely going on. And how do they go in, a pauper, and come out a multimillionaire? And it's not just one side. It's both sides. They have information that the rest of us don't have. And, they can still play the market. How fair is that?
Well, the problem there is that obviously if they're benefiting from it, will not pass a law.
They're the ones that have to. Yeah.
Right. So what if here's a change? What if every 4 years or once a decade, the people of the United States got to vote on legislation that we wanted to see that Congress wouldn't put in?
So only the people, directly get to vote on legislation that affects congressional members.
Yeah. We've got a rule for you, Congress.
Yeah, I like it. My response to Ann when she said on congressional insider trading, she said, I agree. I responded by saying, see, we agree on some things. And Ann this morning says, good morning. On a good note, congratulations to Mayor Lanigan of the city of Rome. Received $10 million in grant money from the state. And then Kevin this morning, Artemis 2 live stream abruptly cut out after one of the astronauts starts stripping off for his space bath. Is that real? That can't be real. Is that real?
I will find out.
I think he said, wow, these New York sash windows are incredible. Can put my bare back on the window and not feel the cold space air outside. All right, that's good, Kevin. If that is real, that is just unbelievable.
I don't think so. Okay, wait. No. Hang on. Let's see. An Artemis 2 astronaut took a bath on camera on the way to the moon. Mission Control's reaction was priceless. It looks like I've got a video here. I don't think I want to watch it, though.
And adds, there's always talk about a woman president. How about me? Ann in Rome for president. I like it. New York Sash, speaking of New York Sash, the line is it protects your home from the elements outside. Even on the coldest winter day, you could put your bare back or maybe a bare arm up against the window, and it would feel as warm as it does inside. Right now, New York Sash is making it easier with their trade-in and upgrade event. For every old window they replace, homeowners get a $100 instant trade-in credit towards new energy-efficient windows. It's a simple way to turn those drafty windows into real savings. Spring is the perfect time, and if it's budget that you're concerned about, New York Sash offers flexible financing options to help make those upgrades happen now, not later. So don't wait. Limited time offer. Contracts need to be signed by the end of the month here in April. Stop in, get inspired, take advantage of the savings. You can visit their showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or online at any time at NewYorkSash.com.
That's true. Yeah.
It is. So that
astronaut
is
Victor Glover, the pilot of NASA's Artemis II mission, suddenly took off his shirt in full view of a live camera on the Orion spacecraft after his daily workout. Mission Control's reaction was priceless. The video feed suddenly cut out.
Well, listen, you're in tight quarters there. We mentioned the attorney Megan Thomas in Syracuse, who had an ad which basically said, the original wording, when HR called it harmless flirting, we called it Exhibit A. And that was thought by the airport people in charge. They said that would offend some male members of some male customers who often fly. Well, that's ridiculous. Now her ad, which was fairly modest, wasn't that large. Now it now dwarfs Thomas as she stands next to it, the Syracuse Hancock Regional Airport. This is from Syracuse.com. According to the story, a second sign hangs over the JetBlue ticket counter. They are large signs. Now, Thomas and the airport settled after she filed a complaint in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York, according to coverage by Law 360. The airport authority argued that Thomas's ad was false and inflammatory, but U.S. Judge Anthony Brindisi of the Northern District of New York determined the ban violated the First Amendment, according to Syracuse.com. And Megan Thomas, the attorney, is on the line right now. Good morning, Megan. Thanks so much for coming on. And, we've said this before, but congratulations.
Thanks so much, Bill. Thanks for having me.
So can you clarify again, because I think we discussed this a bit yesterday. Did they say you couldn't have it, or it was a tiny ad that was even tough to see? Because you talked about now the size of the ad as well.
Only the size that it's now bigger, just bigger now. I don't think the size had anything to do with it in the beginning, did it?
That's correct. The size had nothing to do with it. The ad itself hasn't changed, the language. That's really what they were pushing back against. But, bad timing for them. When I first started with this, I, had a small law firm. I just started. I didn't have the money to do a bigger ad. Now I do. I'm like, give me the biggest and best space you have. I want it. So here we are.
So, that's just, I feel like that's the cherry on top of the story. And I'm assuming I think we saw and read in the Post Standard that your business is really booming since all of this attention.
Yeah, it really is. We've been super busy. We hired another attorney. I've got new intake specialists helping out. We just are getting a lot of calls and a lot of cases.
I got it.
Specifically about violations like this, like HR violations, is that what you're focusing on, or is it a broader range of cases?
It's generally workplace issues. So, yes, a lot of issues with HR. I also do general sexual abuse cases, such as, doctors or other people who are not in an employment situation abusing people. But the vast majority happens in the workplace, and a lot of issues with HR. Telling people they don't have a case when they do, telling people they're being too sensitive, et cetera.
You're talking to all of our bosses and managers here are women, and it's been that way for a while. And to be honest with you, at times I think I feel like sometimes in certain scenarios I've seen women, and maybe this isn't fair to judge people by their sex. But I do think women sometimes can be more responsible and less apt to get themselves in trouble. But maybe that's just based on my own behavior. But you're talking to a group of guys. What are things that are typical that get people in trouble when it comes to the workplace and saying the wrong thing? Can you think of something off the top of your head?
Oh, for sure. Well, first of all, I definitely have male and female clients, so it certainly goes both ways. But the statistics show that it's more often, as you said, men who are violating these rules. But certainly, one of the things that just comes to the top of mind is that people are consistently asking someone out, or texting them, or commenting on their clothing, when that is clearly not wanted by the person who is on the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
And it's about reading the room, right? Like, these people are in a workplace situation. They don't want that. And so it's really the repetitive nature that I see a lot that gets people in trouble.
Yeah. How about calling a female a girl? Is that, because I've been told that's wrong.
Yeah, great question. So essentially, that in and of itself probably isn't actionable, but that combined with a lot of other things could be. So I have cases where that's just one of so many things that these women are dealing with that makes them feel like second-class citizens in the workplace.
Yeah. What if a woman calls a man shorty? I'm just telling you. Listen, I may not be the tallest guy in the world, but, it may not be sexual harassment, but it doesn't feel overly nice. I do have to say that the guys who tend to succeed are guys that have a partner, oftentimes a woman, who guides them with comments like, "Don't ever say that again. That's ridiculously stupid." And I have one of those women. I think,
and yet you keep doing it.
Well, no, I think I have over the years. I've improved, but I think going back 20 years. Good God, the stuff that went on, and just wouldn't fly, Megan, today.
That's right. Yeah, and back to your earlier point about the shorty, there's no rules against bullying or general harassment in the workplace. It's when it becomes of a sexual nature, or if it's about your class or about your race rather, or age, something like that it's a problem. But I tell my clients every day, there's no rule against general bullying in New York State in the workplace. But I agree with you too that when you have a woman in your corner or someone who's just sensitive to these issues that can say, "Hey, don't say that, it could come off wrong," that's really helpful. And I really appreciate people like you, Bill, who want to do better and who want to make everyone feel, appreciated and equal in the workplace. That's so important.
Well, the problem is I used to do a radio show that was one giant sexual harassment. That was the show. And what I found, and I found that people, not just myself at times, but people on the show would have a difficulty when the show ended, knowing where the line is that, okay, now I'm in the workplace and I'm off the air. Those types of shows that we did back in the 90s, they really don't exist like they used to. And maybe that's a good thing.
I think it is. And I think there's some people listening who might be nostalgic for those old times, but the reality is a lot of women were not feeling, comfortable or as equals. We were feeling very objectified during conversations like that. So listen, humanity grows and we grow awareness, and that's all really good. And I think that's actually, again, a good change here.
All right. Anybody have any other questions? It doesn't have to be yours. You can pretend it's somebody else's. Anybody? Davey, anybody? We should, listen, Megan, you, Tim, you do.
Well, Megan, all I got to say is you definitely have become a billboard lawyer, except your billboard is inside the airport rather than outside. That sign is huge.
It is big. Yeah, that's
Billy Fusillo.
Yeah, that's that. Listen, that's okay.
Yeah, good on you.
It used to be only Syracuse University had the big signs.
Yeah.
But you're right up there with them, and that's awesome. I believe, Megan, we should use you going forward if you're okay with it. If we reach out whenever there's a question that involves any bit of sexual harassment, maybe we bring you into the conversation on the radio because your expertise can be, you'll certainly, I'm assuming, work not exclusively in Syracuse, but handle all of upstate New York.
That's correct. In fact, we take cases all over the state. We have cases in New York City, Buffalo, everywhere. So that's perfect. I would love to do that.
All right. Sounds good.
Just be warned. Bill does this with a local doctor, too, and it's a way for him to avoid a copay. I want you to know that going in.
I got all this legal advice.
No billable hours.
And I got it for free. And we recorded it. It's incredible. All right, Megan, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And
thank you so much for having me.
And congratulations. The one thing I can tell you, being someone in media and advertising and promotion, you get a gold star when it comes to taking advantage of a wonderful opportunity that was handed to you. I don't know that the airport realized what they were doing when they did what they did to you, but it was like a slow pitch, and you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I don't think they knew who they were messing with. So
no, they
now
did
they
not.
do.
Now they do. All right, Megan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Megan Thomas is the attorney, and I kind of like I like it. It's the small guy, the small gal. Can you say gal anymore? I don't know. The small female standing up to the big, powerful. I don't know if the person that said no to her was a male or a female, but just the thought of, talk about old school. The thought that this ad would offend males who fly was ridiculous. It was like asking for her to sue them, and she did successfully. All right, coming up, we are going to talk about. It's not every day you get the Department of Transportation in. Heather is coming in a few minutes and will lead us to where you can expect construction here this spring. And it's out there. It's right outside our window, in fact, right? And we'll get to that. Also, you might have some comments and some questions. She's willing to deal with that. And Hobica's free money question of the day, Davey, is coming up. And this morning's question is worth how much money?
I was pointing across to Main Street over here in Whitesboro when you come over. That's where they're
right. That's where there's a lot of construction, right?
They just started that on Monday.
Yeah.
Let's do $250.
$250 on the line. We'll do that coming up after Manaski's news.
Would Mike agree with that amount?
Are you okay with that, Mike? I'm looking for him. He hasn't texted us as of yet. We'll see. People all around have the problem of pain, whether it be knee, hip, back, and oftentimes, believe it or not, it could be coming from your feet. Enter, we have one now, the Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store, they have a team of trusted arch support specialists. And there are those that do the testimonials. These are all real customers of the Good Feet Store who say the pain is gone. The improvement is tremendous. And maybe you had that very same experience. I use them. It really does correct your step and does help. For me, in the sciatica and lower back is where I felt better. There's a warranty. It's all made in the USA. A free fitting when you walk in. That's a free fitting and a test walk. You can just walk in. It's the Good Feet Store, 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
These are uncertain times. Ongoing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and beyond continue to shake global markets, driving up energy costs and creating widespread volatility. Gold has responded as history shows it does, climbing to new highs as a proven safe haven against inflation and unrest. Silver follows strong, offering even more protection for diversified portfolios. Call True Gold Republic at 800-300-GOLD for your free guide on protecting your retirement. If you're 55 or older, approaching or enjoying retirement, and have significant savings, you understand why stability matters now more than ever. Paper assets can vanish in a crisis, but precious metals have endured for generations. True Gold Republic helps Americans like you protect what you've built with real gold and silver IRAs. Call 800-300-GOLD for your free wealth protection guide today. No obligation, just information. Consult your tax professional before investing. Call 800-300-4653. That's 800-300-GOLD.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun with gusty winds out of the south at times at a high of 61. Clouds will increase overnight with a low of 42. Scattered showers will be possible on Friday with a high of 67. Then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Highs will approach 50 on Saturday, then closer to 60 on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently, we have some sunshine and 36 degrees. It is 7:39. Iran's chief negotiator says peace talks with the United States are unreasonable while Israel continues to attack Lebanon. The U.S. says Israel's campaign in Lebanon is not included in a 2-week ceasefire, which aims to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to oil traffic, while Washington and Tehran try to hammer out a more permanent peace deal. Iran says it, being Lebanon, must be included. Support for Israel is dropping across the U.S. A new poll from the Pew Research Center shows Americans increasingly view Israel as in a negative light, as the war rages on in the Middle East. The results published this week found 60% of all American adults now have an unfavorable opinion of Israel. That's up from 53% last year. President Trump says the U.S. cannot depend on NATO. He made the comments in a Truth Social post Wednesday shortly after finishing a meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. The meeting came as the president bashes NATO's unwillingness to support the U.S. in the Iran war, although it was scheduled prior to the announced 2-week ceasefire with Iran. Eligible men will be signed up for the draft automatically later this year. The Selective Service System says starting in December, eligible men will be registered into the draft automatically in an effort to streamline the previous process of self-registration. Men between the ages of 18 and 25 are already required to register with the Selective Service. The FBI says cryptocurrency scams drove the highest losses of all scams last year. The Bureau's annual report shows the Internet Crime Complaint Center received more than 1 million complaints overall last year, with losses close to $21 billion. Crypto-related scams accounted for more than half of those losses. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 741. Currently, we have some sunshine and 37 degrees.
All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. By the way, a couple of comments here for you, Davey. Mike says this morning, glad to see Davey loosen the Hobica purse strings. And we're talking about $250 this morning on the line for the Hobica free money question of the day. And let's, what do you want, 5? Fifth caller right now, 315-736-0186. Call the number 5 right now. Your chance to win from Hobica and WIBX.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors, available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls and Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Veterans, you and your family know all too well the many hardships that challenge your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. The Good News Foundation invites you to a free fellowship group of veterans. This get-together is run by retired Army Chief Warrant Officer 4 Richard Smith, the author of Camouflage Christian. Check out Veterans for Worship the third Wednesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted, professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Our locally owned and operated small businesses are the heartbeat of our community. The WIBX Industry Aces stand out as leaders in their fields, like Scharf Plumbing and Drain. The Scharf family has been providing plumbing and drain services to the Mohawk Valley for over a century, offering many services, including sewer repair, repiping, water heater repair and replacement, and more. They're more than plumbers. They're a family dedicated to getting the job done. Support one of these fantastic industry aces today.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, each morning at this time we give somebody a chance to win dough, money, moolah, dinero. What other words do we have? I'm out of words, to be honest.
I guess me too.
Yeah. Anyway, it's money. It's a chance to win from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica. For your legal needs, call 315-724-1600, the Hobica Law Firm. And on the line right now is John in Utica. Hello, John. Good morning.
Good morning.
I got to tell you, as long as we're talking a little trivia, last night the Asian American on Jeopardy for the first time went into the final Jeopardy question down by like $4,000.
Yep.
And the guy that was about to beat him didn't have the answer and bet too much, and he wins again. I think it was his 17th or 18th win.
Yeah.
It's wild. This guy like knows everything, even like pop music and stuff. Like, how does he know this stuff? It must have a photographic memory, like John in Utica is able to remember everything. John, right?
Sounds good to me, but I doubt it.
Okay, all right. Oh, you're like me then. All right, here we go. I spend my time watching Jeopardy saying, I know this, I just can't remember what it was. Does that mean I know it or don't know it? Probably don't know it. But you'll know this one. I think we're going to give away $250. Here we go. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. This is your question. This legendary treat known round the world was inspired by a London nightclub. What is it? Ready, go.
Donuts.
I'll ask this to anybody in studio. This legendary treat known round the world was inspired by a London nightclub. Davey wants to give the answer.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, yeah. The Kit Kat Club. The Kit Kat Club.
They're still looking for those Kit Kats.
They are, and
the Kit Smitty, but I guess that's right up his alley.
Oh, yeah. You threw a softball to Smitty.
Davey. John, I don't know.
Here comes Kit Kat.
I don't know why Davey knew immediately the Kit Kat Club, but
nice.
He did. It's the Kit Kat bar, and which recently thousands and thousands of them were stolen, right? For some reason they were... it was like a World Cup promotion item. All right, John, we're going to give you the all-in-one. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. The Glenwood Movieplex and Rome Cinema 8. We have movie passes to both of them. And you sit tight. Davey's going to hook you up, all right?
All right, thanks.
Getting back to Jeopardy, though, we got to come up with this guy's names. We cannot label him as the
Asian
American. He's a Michigan guy. It's 19 straight wins yesterday is what he got, and his name is Jamie Ding. Ding!
Jamie Ding. You are offended. I apologize.
I'm not offended.
Well,
I'm sure somebody is.
Are you protecting me?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, thank you. You're like my wife. In studio right now is Heather Tehan. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And because there was Tehans, and then there was Tehans.
Right.
And then there's Joe Tehans, and you're Tehan.
I'm Tehan.
Good morning, Heather. And I knew it. I just, for some reason, couldn't remember which way I pronounced it. New York State Department of Transportation. We love having you in because, I don't know, we drive every day and we all have something to complain about.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go to a party and you're like, this is what I do. And the whole table's talking.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry for that.
And right now it is. When are you going to come and fix our potholes?
That's a biggie.
All this trash on the side of the road.
It's a big, and it's the worst. I hate to say, this is the ugliest time of the year.
It is.
I mean,
everything surfaces after the snow
nothing
melts.
has grown yet. It's just starting to grow. You're right.
So it's months of people's litter.
Yeah.
Is accumulated.
Salt and sand.
Yep.
And
the potholes are coming.
Yes.
So
blooming. They're blooming.
Oh, they're here. They're here. They've arrived. I do have to say, though, in fairness, we can't have it both ways. We can't complain that the roads are crumbling, and then when someone goes to fix them, say, I can't stand this construction. Well,
That's
then
right.
you're going to be dealing with crumbling roads.
Yes.
I don't like the sand all over the roads and all that, but let me tell you, in the wintertime, they'll be complaining if there isn't sand and salt on the roads.
Right. I mean, we don't shut down roads very often.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Do you handle the Thruway? Is that your territory?
I do not. The Thruway has their own.
Good. So we can really complain about that.
So I did, but it's a good thing you brought that up because
Yes.
there is a job in Oneida on New York 46 where it's a Thruway bridge job, but
Okay.
it carries our New York State State Route 46.
Okay.
So people are confusing it to be our job. We have permitted the work because it's on a state route, but it is a throughway bridge replacement. So any comments or concerns about that construction on 46 over the throughway should go to
that would
the
be
throughway.
where? Would that be in? Would that be in Westmoreland, or where
That's
is that?
the city of Oneida.
City of Oneida. Because I'm trying to figure out a way that we can get an exit for Rome on the throughway, and why not? There are no more toll booths or anything, but there is that one section where you travel over the throughway, and it might be right about there that it's close enough to Rome. It would be close to Oriskany. It would be close to Westmoreland. But then you'd pick up what's the road from Westmoreland there that goes into
233?
233. You'd end up picking up 233. It's over in that area near the sheriff's office over there as you're coming across to pick up 233 and go into Rome. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Judd Road?
Judd Road. Is that what that's called? That's
Yes.
Judd Road. Yeah. Anyway, what are we looking at for construction?
So there's going to be...
There's one big one right over here that's bothering Davey.
Yeah. So
in
is
Whitesboro.
that Mohawk Street?
Yes.
Yeah. So Mohawk Street, we have a job going on right now where we're working on the bridge joints and some concrete repair. So it's down to one lane with the traffic signal, the temporary signal. So it's alternating traffic flow, which is slowing people down. And people, if they want to, they can seek an alternate route to get around that. That is supposed to be about 6 weeks. Weather permitting.
Automated stoplight over there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, and that work is necessary to maintain the structure that we drive over.
Well, listen, I mean, you cannot deny the fact that we deal with erosion every single winter. These winters, and this winter especially, are very hard on the roads.
It is.
Yeah.
We had a terrible ice and cold. We had that freezing snap where we didn't go above freezing for 27 days or something.
Yeah, it was
like that.
terrible.
And then afterwards, all these potholes crept up.
Yeah.
We had snow down in Long Island that we don't normally have, and they're getting potholes that they've never seen before.
Interesting.
And, so it was a harsh winter.
Yeah.
We're not through it yet. We still have a couple more weeks. We consider snow and ice season to end April 14th. So we're still on shift.
The day before taxes are due. So that's nice.
So we're still on shift. Our crews are still on plow duty.
Well, look at
and yet they're fixing potholes.
Look at this week. We had in the North Country. They had temperatures at 0 and below 0 in the North Country. So.
Yes, and in the North Country we still have snow melt, and there still will be flooding issues. So
I don't know
everyone should be vigilant.
I don't know about anybody else, but you can tell what kind of a winter it has been by your sump pump in your basement. And I am not in an area where we get flooding, but my sump pump has been running 24/7 for the last 3 weeks, and it's just constant. So you're getting that runoff that's still coming from the hills.
It is.
That people are dealing with.
So we do have that going on. We also have construction that has started. We came back for our second year in the village of Clinton. We expect to be out of there, substantially out of there, at the end of June. There's some work that we have added.
And that's
to
over
that
by
job.
the Rock, the bar there.
So it's from the town of Kirkland south of the village through the town of Kirkland north of the village on Route 12B. It's all paving. Right now we're doing hydrant work and landscaping to plant some seeds that we couldn't do in the fall. We will be back in September to also plant because the trees that the village picked are fall plantings. So we're going to come back to do those correctly.
Right. Okay.
And but be vigilant and stay alert through the work zones in the village of Clinton because we could be in multiple places in the same day. We could be in multiple areas.
I have Sergio, who is from the Valley, with a question for you. You can grab those headphones. Sergio, good morning. You're on with Heather Tehan.
So I wanted to ask Heather, and I don't think this is her area, but in Herkimer County, I live in the village of Ilion on State Route 51.
Yes.
I have a nuisance tree I want to complain about. And I don't know, I've been asking around, even, like the mayor and stuff, and he kind of said, well, you got to get a hold of New York State DOT, but doesn't tell me where, like where that office would be.
Okay. So I'm sure you don't want to give your address out on the radio, but if you want to give it to Davey, we can take a look at that because it would be something that we would take a look at. What kind of tree is it?
It's a tree that the state put in about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And when they were marking where to put the tree, I spoke to the engineer and I told him, don't put a tree there because it's going to be right over my gas and water lines. And he said, well, we have studies that show that if you put a trees help to slow down traffic. I said, on this street, the only way you're going to slow down the traffic with a tree is if you plant it in the middle of the street.
Right, right. Are you on 51 where it goes to, let's see, does 51 go into the gorge? Or does that?
So here's the problem. When you're coming out of 51 heading north, as you end the gorge, the speed limit changes to 55. But that 55-mile-an-hour speed limit's only good for about 250 yards because then you hit the village line and it's 30.
Yeah.
But people heading north, passing my house, they're going so fast, they're not going 30 miles an hour.
Right.
And the tree has grown to the point where it's going into the power lines. That's one thing. But it's always blocked my view of trying to get out of the driveway.
Okay.
So you got like a brief moment that you have a break in the traffic, and if you don't take it, there's another car coming down at 40 miles an hour.
Okay, well, we're happy to take a look at it. It would be something that our tree crew and operations crew would go out and investigate. But again, don't give me your address right now.
But he can call. What is the number that he would call?
For this, so I'm going to give my cell phone number out because it's all over the website and everything anyway.
Boy. It is. Okay. Are you
It's
sure?
already
Okay.
out there.
All right.
So it's my number is 315.
Sergio, this is big.
980-1377. And I can get you in touch with what we need to do to take care of something like this.
That would be great. I really appreciate it.
Did you get that number, Sergio?
Yes. I'm sorry. What's Miss Tehan's first name?
Heather.
Yep.
Oh, Heather. Right. I thought it was Heather, but I wasn't sure.
All right.
I was confused.
All right, Sergio. Thank you
very much.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to squeeze in some quick calls. All of a sudden, everybody's calling. Wayne, because I'm almost out of time. Wayne, you're on with Heather.
Hey, guys. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
I've given up on the potholes, but there is a light when you're going past Home Depot, and it's the one where you see the entrance to Route 12 north and south, right to your right-hand side.
You're coming out of Home Depot.
Come to it, no, you're on the road. You're on French Road or whatever that road it turns into.
Okay.
So you're going past Shenanigans, you're going past that waffle place, and then you come to Home Depot. That light there, I'm not kidding you. As soon as it changes to green, if you clap your hands and you get to the next light, it's already turning red. What is the reasoning for that?
So
And
that
that's
whole
no exaggeration.
That whole system there works in sync. So there's several opportunities for coming into that system, whether you're coming off onto French Road, you're already on French Road and going past, you're coming out of Home Depot. There's multiple interactions there.
Okay.
And because of that, they all work in sync, and you will not catch all three lights coming through there. You will only get two.
No, listen, this one, I'm not, I don't know if you understand it. This is like you're at the light.
Yep.
Okay, say if you're at the light, and then the next light that's there that you're waiting at a red light. Before that light that's in front of you turns green, the next one after it, soon as you go to step on your pedal, that light is turning red.
So there may be a flaw in the
be faulty.
I get a lot of calls about this light. I get a lot of calls about this light, and so we've looked at it, we've investigated it, and it's running as it should.
All right, Wayne, I hate to do this to you, but I gotta let you go.
Thanks, guys. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
man. Thank you. Are you good on time? Would
Sure.
you wait to the other side of the break?
Sure.
Because I have like 5 phone calls for you right now.
I'm happy to
all of a
answer
sudden.
questions.
All right. If you want to talk, we're going to do it on the other side of news, which is next.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The ceasefire is still in place, but there are issues. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The Iranians have got to take the next step
or the president has a lot of options to go back to the war.
That's Vice President Vance, who's set to lead the negotiations this weekend. And just before midnight on Truth Social, President Trump warned the shooting could start again, and it would be bigger and better and stronger.
Saying in part, quote, all U.S. ships, aircraft, and military personnel with additional ammunition, weaponry, and anything else that is appropriate and necessary for the lethal prosecution and destruction of an already substantially degraded enemy will remain in place and around Iran until such time as the real agreement reached is fully complied with.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The question is whether or not the Iranians are willing to make a good faith deal, and already many officials in Tehran are contradicting the agreement that was laid out to enter into this 2-week ceasefire. There was a top atomic official today saying that Iran will maintain its ability to enrich uranium.
Iran also says it'll keep blocking oil and other shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, insisting the ceasefire is being breached by Israel, though the U.S. insists Lebanon is not part of the agreement, as Israeli attacks there yesterday killed more than 200 people.
Its military saying it attacked more than 100 Hezbollah targets in just 10 minutes. At one of Beirut's busiest intersections, journalists saw charred bodies inside vehicles and lying on the ground. President Joseph Aoun described it as a massacre.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Oil prices are rising back up almost 5%. WTI, $99 a barrel again as futures fall on Wall Street. They're still asleep in space. The 4 astronauts on the Artemis 2 mission, who after a wake-up call later this morning will be packing up, getting ready for their return tomorrow.
It's really hard out here. We're a long way from home.
That's mission specialist Jeremy Hansen. Today they'll fire the Orion spacecraft's main engine to correct their course back to Earth after setting a record traveling farther from here than anyone ever in the fly around the moon Monday. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Now, this 25th anniversary of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation remains committed to honoring the heroes shaped by that day. Heroes like NYPD Detective Victor Vargas, a U.S. Air Force veteran who died from pancreatic cancer after serving in the World Trade Center recovery efforts. Tunnel to Towers honored Detective Vargas by paying off the family's mortgage. You can donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
While that fragile ceasefire with Iran still holds, even though Israel keeps attacking Lebanon, holy sites reopened today in Jerusalem for both Christians and Muslims.
The Church of the Holy Sepulchre and the Al-Aqsa Mosque had been closed for 40 days by Israeli police since the start of U.S. and Israeli airstrikes in Iran. Around 3,000 Palestinian Muslims were there for morning prayers at the mosque. The first time since Israel took control of East Jerusalem in 1967 that Al-Aqsa was closed during the Eid al-Fitr holiday, marking the end of the Ramadan holy month. Only mosque staff and officials with the organization that manages it were allowed to pray there. Easter Mass was held at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, mostly empty, though, after complaints about church leaders being kept out altogether on Palm Sunday. Chris Foster, Fox News.
An American has been arrested in the Bahamas days after Brian Hooker's wife, Lynette, went missing, though he's not been charged with a crime at this point. Hooker claims she went overboard in their small boat in rough seas as they traveled back to their yacht. There is also a U.S. Coast Guard criminal investigation. In Hawaii, a doctor's been convicted of trying to kill his wife and could get 20 years in prison when sentenced in August.
The jury in Honolulu.
We, the jury in this case, finds the defendant guilty of attempted manslaughter based upon extreme mental or emotional disturbance.
Dr. Gerhard Koenig immediately put his head in his hands when he heard the decision in the trial that lasted about 3 weeks. Prosecutors said the 47-year-old was obsessed with his wife Ariel's admitted emotional affair with a married coworker. During a hike in Oahu on her birthday last March, they said the anesthesiologist tried to push her off a cliff, stab her with a syringe, and hit her with a rock. His defense claimed it was not a planned attack, and he was acting in self-defense, saying she started an altercation. CJ Papa, Fox News.
The Masters just teed off at Augusta in Georgia a short time ago, golf's first major tournament of the year. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have some sunshine, 37 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. Bill, I'll give you a quick one here. I know we have Heather in, and we have some callers on the line. The state of New York awarding the city of Rome $10 million for their downtown revitalization initiative. It's the first city in the state to be awarded the $10 million DRI twice. In receiving the honor, Rome's Mayor Jeff Lanigan presented the Secretary of State with a hand-painted skateboard, a reflection of Bellamy Park, the skate park at Bellamy Park. Meanwhile, the city of Utica getting $4.5 million for the Uptown District. 2 people indicted for allegedly running a prostitution operation from Manhattan, the Bronx, and to our local community. Deanna DeCastro and Gilliam Cordero charged with an indictment alleging sex trafficking of a child, robbery, and promoting prostitution for crimes that happened between October 2025 and January of this year. Both were arrested, taken into custody at a home at South James Street earlier this week by state police. And Utica University and Syracuse University entering a new agreement to form pipelines between the two schools. Essentially, students who are at Utica University in biology, biochemistry, chemistry, computer science, cybersecurity, geoscience, engineering, math, and physics can now automatically enroll at SU in their undergraduate programs. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 8:07. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun with gusty winds out of the south at times at a high of 61. Clouds will increase overnight with a low of 42. Scattered showers will be possible on Friday with a high of 67. Then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Highs will approach 50 on Saturday, then closer to 60 on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, some sunshine, 37 degrees at 8:08. All right, in sports, the Mets fell to the Diamondbacks at home yesterday, the final 7-2. David Peterson takes the loss. The Mets look to win the rubber match coming up tonight. The Yankees lose 3-2 to the A's. Their rubber match is coming up later today. And Kyan Anthony and Sadiq White both announcing on social media they will return to Syracuse for their sophomore seasons next year. So obviously good news for Jerry McNamara. And it's good that some of their top players are sticking around, not transferring
and I gotta
to
tell
other
you,
programs.
Having the Anthony family involved could mean more money coming in, which I think is important for Syracuse's success. Okay, in studio we have Heather Tehan. She is with the New York State Department of Transportation. And we have people. I'm going to go with the people that are waiting on the phone line, but we have a bunch of other questions in. If you have questions for Heather regarding construction, road issues, Donna, I'm going to get to yours as well. Also, Dave has a question off the app. We're going to get to that, but let's start with Tim. You're on with Heather Tehan. Hi, Tim.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My question is in the village of Clinton. In front of the rock there, when you're going to be doing the new paving.
Yes.
Everybody cut that corner short going south at the light. Is there going to be new markings there so people will stay on their own side of the road?
So there will be new epoxy there once we finish the top course paving.
So they're driving into the other lane when they take the left turn.
Yes. So we did make some changes to that intersection last year to reconfigure that a bit. And so hopefully people will follow the markings once they're put there.
All right, Tim.
I appreciate that very much, and they are doing a great job there. I've been going through there the last year, and the people who are working are very kind. The flag people are nice. You have wonderful people working for you.
Thank you so much. I will pass that along.
That's awesome, Tim. Thank you. And you probably don't hear that every day.
No.
Yeah, that's good. Richard hates your people and is going to tell you all about it right now. Richard, I'm kidding. You're on with Heather. Good morning, Richard.
Yes, hey, good morning. I just was curious. I see a lot of activity going on one of my favorite intersections or crossovers at Blackman Corners.
Yes.
I see vehicles there. I don't know if you've spoken about that already this morning, but I see the wiring or the poles going up. So they're putting something up. What type of light are they using?
So we are doing work. That's in the town of Verona at Route 365 and Blackman's Corners Road.
Yeah.
Right now we have lane closures in both directions expected with flaggers in place due to signal pole, foundation installation, and conduit work. So there's going to be a warning there about the intersection because there's been several.
Just a warning, no caution lights.
I believe it is caution lights.
Okay,
but not a signal,
I mean,
not a red or yellow. Flashing
but the typical, whatever amber caution light there flashing, because that's a terrible intersection. It's just absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, we have studied it, and the reason that we're there is because of the crash history there. So it's going to warn traffic that there's a vehicle at the intersection approaching to cross.
All right.
So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, Richard, thanks.
Good idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you have a quick question, I still have a minute to get in, 315-736-0186. Donna, please ask about the same area near Home Depot, but this is different. This is when she's coming off the ramp. So let's say you're traveling towards New Hartford from Utica. You get off that ramp, and then she said you have people. The light has a green arrow light. Yes. However, you have people that want to do the right on red there. They honk. They go around to the right side. So is it wait for the arrow to turn, or is it right on red? But if you want to go straight, you can still also go straight there and come around. You're not going to turn red, and you have people behind you that are yelling. But to me, there's enough room where you could put another lane there.
There are 3.
Being an expert in traffic that I am,
I believe there are 3 there. Aren't there 3 lanes?
I think there are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but if you're coming from Utica, you would tend to end up in that right lane. Which is also because just where if there's traffic coming in, you're merging right into that lane.
There's a merge and a yield there for traffic coming from the other ramp as well that comes in that same direction. So there's a lot going on in that area.
There is.
Multiple people have said it'd make a great roundabout because of the configuration of that area, but that is not something we're looking at this time. But there's a lot of interaction going on there with the traffic.
I do find that roundabouts, we were just in one the other day, and there still are some confused people. But I honestly think that these would be people that would be confused even if they're driving in a straight line. Right? They probably shouldn't. Maybe they shouldn't even be driving anymore. But roundabouts just work. It's very interesting.
They do. They actually slow traffic down.
Yeah.
You have to slow down. You're only looking at one direction for traffic coming into the circle. It's better for pedestrians as well because they're only looking at one traffic on one side coming towards them. But people do get confused by them. And we have seen people go straight across. We've had people take the wrong way and turn left.
I do love I love the person who's confused but polite. What I mean is they're in the circle and they stop. Wave someone. Come on in.
Once you're in, once you're in, you have the right of way. Keep
don't
moving.
Stop, please.
And I believe that part of Donna's question there, and I was wrong about this apparently a couple weeks ago, and I was surprised to find out. I think the part of her question though was when you have a light that has a green arrow to make a turn, red and green arrow, are you allowed to go right on red?
That's an excellent question.
Okay.
Because it depends on what other signage is there at the signal.
Okay.
So sometimes there's digital signs now, like we have here on Oriskany North Jenny, that like lead the pedestrian, and it'll say you can't go right on red because there's a pedestrian lead that's going to start where this pedestrian signal starts before the traffic goes. So if that's the case, then no, you can't turn right on red.
Okay.
And that lights up. So there's other parameters for these signal interactions.
So you may, if there's a green light, chances are the other side has a light that's giving them the right of way to make
turn
a
left.
left-hand turn. And in front of you, I had one in Syracuse last weekend, and I went to go right on red and got yelled at because my wife said there's no right on red here. I look up to the signage. There's no sign anywhere. But the sign was back 20 feet.
As you approach the intersection.
As you approach it. And To me, that's the wrong place for the sign. I'm automatically looking at the stoplight, and usually that's where you find the sign.
Next to the signal.
Next to the signal.
Yes.
And in Syracuse, and there was a police officer sitting right there. I feel that's there to catch people in Syracuse. And they almost got me.
Dave in Inlet, when will the Racket Lake Bridge be finished?
He
Is
has
that
two
still part of
questions,
your area?
too.
Yes.
He has two. If you go back to his, if you can get into his.
Yes,
Go
so
ahead.
that is part of my area. So
All
I
right.
handle everything from
This is,
Madison County to up in Madison, Oneida, Herkimer, Hamilton, Fulton, and Montgomery counties.
Wow,
so
you got a big area.
I do.
Racket Lake Bridge.
Yeah, so the Racket Lake Bridge, this is year 3 of the construction up there because we absolutely could not just shut that road down and do this bridge replacement. The detour would have been about 90 miles, and we just can't have that. So we had to stage it. We ran into some issues. We ran into some weather issues. We ran into steel issues. So we're on time, but people have seen a lot of different things happening up there.
Yeah.
That bridge should be done in 2026.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I don't see Dave's other question. I'm sorry.
He had another one. If you go into his questioning, you'll find it there.
It goes back to March 20th. His
Maybe he
previous
changed. I
comment.
don't know. It was a different one. Tim, for Heather. Tim, you're on with Heather.
Yeah. Yes, I got a question. This is a issue in Whitesboro, Oriskany Boulevard, coming off Curran Road. There's a blinking light where you press buttons by the junior high school. Okay. There's a button on the opposite side by the milkshake place that does not work. And that is a terrible place to cross the road, even when those lights do work.
Okay.
I almost got hit a couple of times, and I'm to a point where I bought a vest, a high visibility vest, because nobody pays attention to those blinking yellow lights.
The
And there's
RFB
also-
lights that blink that let you know a pedestrian can cross. Yeah.
Yes, and there's also a light out in the medium, a light bulb, that blinks on and off.
Okay.
So when I press it on the side where the school is, that side works, but where the milkshake place across the street, the button doesn't work.
The button doesn't work. Okay. I will alert the signal crew to that, and
All right.
we'll get somebody
All right.
out there.
All right, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tim. All right. Any others that we have? Because I have one more I'm going to hit you with, and then we'll let you go. Again, back to that intersection in New Hartford, coming off the arterial, or you're coming off. Maybe you're coming. You're coming off 840, is it? And going around. It's those on ramp, off ramps where people are supposed to yield. And let's use the one from Middle Settlement. This one is an accident almost every time I drive through it, because somebody. So let's say you're coming from Yanandasas and you're down and you want to get on to 840. So you take after the bridge, you would take the right-hand ramp to go around onto 840 to go over by Consumer Square.
Yes.
But somebody's coming off. What is the name of that road there? Over by New Hartford Shopping Center. Whatever. You know where I mean, though,
I
right?
do. Yes.
So they're coming off that, and they never yield. So there you are trying to get over, and you're going parallel with the person who's not yielding, and you need to get – so you have nothing to do but brake because of the idiot that doesn't know what yield means.
Yes. Yield,
how do we fix that?
Oh, my goodness. That would be
And it's
like
the
a
same
mandatory course
And
in
it has
yielding.
the same on the other side if you're coming from Consumer Square down.
Yes, that pattern doesn't seem to have as many crashes on the other side. There's definitely more crashes
coming from the New Hartford side. Yeah.
Yes, because I think people are heading into, and it depends on the time of day as well.
Yes.
But people heading in the morning. Good luck.
Good luck. It is awful
there because
And
people
in fact-
don't yield. The yield means you in your lane with the yield sign. You are supposed to stop.
If there's traffic
is approaching, and then you go.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like they just
They
go
go
for
anyway.
it. Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like who gets there first. It's like a race.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the worst situation is for the elderly and young drivers. I almost always you'll see 4 or 5 accidents there easily, just by chance over the course of the summer. This summer, there's just constantly accidents on that side because people do not yield.
There was a crash there. Maybe 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. There was a crash there, and then there was an arrest after the crash.
Really?
Because there was another incident that happened. The guy and then it turned out to be he was arrested and he had all these tickets and all the unlicensed this and that, and it was a good catch.
I knew this to be true, that most criminals go to that area. It's a known statistic. Here's Sue. Good morning, Sue. Last one I can take here. Good morning. You're on with Heather.
Good morning. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah.
Heather, I have a concern. In Holland Patton, on the intersection of Route 365, and one side is Center Street, and the other side of 365 is Fox Road, there really should be a flashing light there or something. It's a terrible intersection. I've seen accidents there. I've been in an accident there.
Okay.
People just don't slow down. They don't give you a chance to get into traffic, especially during the summer and times of the day where there's work traffic.
Is there a stop condition there now for one side?
There's nothing at all, and it's a very dangerous intersection. There's just it's a bad intersection.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I know Davey's familiar with it. He lives right down the road and goes through it. It's
Davey.
not good.
Yeah. He's shaking his head. He's with you.
Well, it's definitely something that I can bring to the attention of our traffic group and see if it's something that we're already investigating or something that we run traffic studies frequently based on crash patterns, based on concern of residents, based on things that come to our attention. So I will definitely bring it to the attention of the traffic department.
All right.
And Smitty, where is it again?
It's on the intersection of Route 365 in the village of Holland Patton. It's confusing. One side of 365 intersecting is Center Street / Coates Road, and the other side is Fox Road.
All right.
It's where the old,
and it's right there at the fire department.
Yeah, it's where the old Butterfield house is, Jeff, where you turn down to go into the village, like where to go to the farmers, farmer co-op and Agway.
Yep.
I know exactly where Sue's talking about.
Well, Sue I have to say, you do a wonderful job describing.
Yes.
You've laid it out perfectly,
which is very important for me.
Unlike me, it's like, what's the name of that road that's over by the, All right,
God
Sue.
gave you a wife.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, Sue.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
All right, thanks. Unfortunately, though, through all of this, you cannot. You can have as many signs and lights. A good example is the Consumer Square busy exit, the one that's right after the 840 overpass.
Yes.
And so they're coming off 840. They're coming from down on is that Commercial Drive?
Yes.
From Sangertown, or they're getting off coming from Washington Mills.
Yes.
And the problem you have is those that are coming either on the off ramp or from Sangertown, the light turns yellow and turns red, and especially during busy times, Christmas, they just keep driving. They go right through the red light.
Yes.
Which ties everybody up.
It does.
And there's always an accident over there.
Yeah.
But the signs are there. The lights are there. What more can you do?
That's the thing. So everything we do, we have people that want us to put in new signs, speed limit signs, reduce this and that, but there's always people that do not follow the signs.
Yeah.
They don't follow the lights. They do as they please. And unfortunately, there is that. We have our Work Zone Safety Awareness Week coming up in
This is important.
April 20th to the 24th is National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week, where we remind people to please slow down. Move over. There's a move over law in New York State. Anything on the shoulder, any vehicle, any person, anybody, you're supposed to move over.
Yeah, it's not just emergency vehicles.
Not just emergency vehicles.
Yeah.
So if you can't move over, if you're in a situation where there's a car next to you, you cannot move over, you're supposed to slow down. Pay attention. Be vigilant in your driving, that there is other things going on. We want every one of our workers, our contracted workers, every flagger to go home at the end of the day. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen every season. So it's up to everyone on the road to pay attention.
If I may, you were telling us during the break, these people who have to have the flags.
Yep, our flag
in direct traffic get coffee thrown on them.
They do.
Get spit on.
You got to
screamed at.
No, coffee. No. People will bump the flag. They'll drive right up and bump the pole. Now, all of this is considered disobeying the flagger, and it is a moving violation.
Yeah.
And those,
okay, that's assault, though.
Well, if you hit the flagger, you may find.
Well, I don't think you can douse somebody with coffee either. If I can't,
Right. So the governor
this is what they go with. This is what they have to deal with.
Right. But they're trying to get everyone safely through the work zone. They're paying attention to not only the construction that's going on around them, but how the traffic flow needs to happen through the work zone to keep everyone safe. You could be hanging steel. There's all kinds of things that could be going on in this work zone.
Yeah.
So where they're doing their best and they're getting yelled at and disobeyed, and people drive around them, aim at them. So let's not do that this year. Let's have a better situation here. You know,
let's say someone is having a heart attack in the car, and you're rushing them to the hospital. You could communicate with and say, we have an emergency here.
You could.
And I'm sure that they would work to get you through.
Yes.
But
there's things you can do. You can beep your horn. You can flash your lights. Somebody else would come around from that construction and find out what's going on with you, and do the best they can.
But being late for a party just isn't going to cut it.
No. And so if you have especially in the summer when we're in construction season, if you want to know what's going on your route that you're traveling to go to the Adirondacks or whatever, 511 New York app will show you on your route where the construction is, if there's a delay, if there's a detour, anything like that. Plan ahead.
Yeah,
plan ahead.
All right. So. Well, you've been a hot topic this morning, Heather Tian.
Great.
We appreciate it greatly, and we'll do it again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Quick break. We're going to talk about lowering insurance rates, something the governor's talking about. Let's get it from an expert, an insurance person from Utica National. We'll do it next at WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor's Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor's Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
This is Dr. Robert Fleischer, urologist with Upstate Urology at Mohawk Valley Health System. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer and second leading cause of cancer death in American men. Early detection is critically important in managing this cancer and improving survival. I strongly encourage all men aged 45 to 75 to get screened, and you can do so at one of our free prostate cancer screenings. For more information or to register for this free screening, please call 315-624-4600. 315-624-4600.
¿Sabías que el cáncer de próstata es el cáncer más común y la segunda causa principal de muerte por cáncer en los hombres estadounidenses? Se recomienda encarecidamente que todos los hombres de entre 45 y 75 años de edad se hagan la prueba de detección. Puedes hacerlo en uno de nuestros exámenes de detección de cáncer de próstata gratuitos. Para obtener más información o registrarse, visite mvhealthsystem.org/urology o llame al 315-624-4600.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code READY. for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code READY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's READY.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
If you've missed the Kim Commando Show, you've missed a lot.
Yeah, they forced Claude to unlearn all the information it got from the pirated technology.
And it's a $1.5 billion landmark settlement. A reader from the current newsletter sent me a note. He put his name in. He made $6,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not bad for getting a free newsletter.
America's digital goddess, Kim Commando.
Saturday mornings at 10 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, good morning, and we got a bunch to get to before we get out. Also, John Decker coming up in a minute. John was front and center yesterday during the White House press debacle, whatever you want to call it. But John had a couple of questions, and we'll talk to him about that coming up in a few minutes. And where we are today with a ceasefire. Is there a ceasefire? Is the war still going on? It'll be interesting to see how the markets react to the fact that it looks very fragile right now, and I'm not sure how far it's going to end, how quickly it's going to end. Anyway, we'll get to John later in the hour. In studio right now is Lydia Perez. She's with Utica National. And good morning.
Good morning.
Really tight on that mic, and I apologize.
Okay.
But you got to be...
Better?
That is good.
All right.
You just blew my eardrum.
Sorry.
No, that's perfect. Okay, so we're seeing a lot on TV. The governor's currently running a commercial about lowering insurance rates. Why are we paying what we pay today?
Great question, and I think it's really informative and something we can educate a lot of people about, because the reality is I don't think there's a driver in New York who would say that they're not paying too much for car insurance. Right. They are.
Unless they don't have insurance, which is unfortunately a high number.
Right. There's another issue we'll get to another time.
Good luck with that. With today's world of... they'll nail you pretty quickly and hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But New Yorkers are paying too much for car insurance. We have some of the highest rates in the country. Our annual average for premium is $4,000, which is almost $2,000 over the national average for car insurance.
Wow.
And the reason is we have rampant fraud and legal system abuse that's occurring here in New York. We have stage accidents. We have these elements of fraud that are just inflating the amount of claims that are being paid. The claim cost rises, premiums rise, and that's just the way it goes. And we have these organized stage accident rings.
We know one that happened right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the news.
Yeah.
And it was completely a staged event, and they ultimately got caught.
Well, and it's this, they have sophisticated networks with plaintiffs' attorneys, with medical providers, with financing companies that actually loan money to the claimants to go get unnecessary procedures. Wow. In fact, just last night I was reading an article about a federal complaint that was filed by FedEx against a Brooklyn attorney and his practice for running a massive insurance fraud scheme that involved such a network where they had stage accidents, exaggerated accidents. They were sending phony victims for unnecessary and excessive medical procedures, and there was a finance company, loaning money to these victims to have these procedures. And I'm not talking about an unnecessary procedure getting a Band-Aid. These are spinal surgeries they're going for, all to inflate the costs with kickbacks to the medical providers. I mean, these are the real reasons behind our high insurance costs, car insurance costs in New York. It's a significant problem that the governor is trying to address in the reforms that she proposed in her executive budget.
How do you fix such a large problem? Not easy.
It's not easy, and she has a number of proposals. that attempt to do that. One of them is to change just the liability laws that that we have in New York, which are really out of line with many other states. In New York, I don't want to bore everyone with too many legal details, but we have pure comparative negligence. So that means someone who can be 99% at fault in a car accident can still obtain a significant recovery of damages. And that is absolutely an outlier with states, and absolutely leads to rising costs.
I've wondered, so if you're at fault, you pay for insurance, your insurance would cover the accident. But when you say if it's something egregious, and maybe an insurance company would deny it, you can't deny that.
Exactly. Well, we have our no-fault insurance here in New York. So, and the way it's currently structured allows for such abuse of claims and the kind of damages that flow from those claims. So her reforms are trying to address those issues. They're also trying to address better enforcement, better consequences for those who are involved in these stage accidents and these fraudulent activities.
Are there people that will get into an accident just for the purpose of, I mean, it may not, when you say staged, do both parties have to be involved? Not really, right?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know if anyone has seen those videos of the, car pulling in front of another, a sudden stop, so that you end up rear-ending this car that stopped abruptly in traffic, and there's your stage accident. Then in the FedEx complaint, it was interesting because that was, again, a number of staged and exaggerated accidents where, the FedEx truck just bumped slightly the car in front of it, which led to significant injuries, multiple medical procedures, when there wasn't even law enforcement called to the scene of that accident. And again, it's this, very sophisticated network of people who are involved.
So you have to have the doctor, the attorney, everybody's got to be involved in this.
Everyone has to be.
And they are.
Yeah. And they are, unfortunately.
Is there an increase in payouts because today's vehicles, everything seems to be molded and connected? So for instance, I hit a deer, and
the deer hit you actually.
Actually, the deer ran into me.
You have a tendency to do
that. And I was surprised how much damage was caused, but I'm thinking $5,000 or $6,000. It was $13,000 because everything on that vehicle had to be replaced, including the sensors and all of this. So it's almost like your 72 Delta 88, it got hit. You replaced the fender, maybe the bumper. Now everything gets replaced.
Yeah, cars have definitely become more complicated and therefore more expensive to fix.
Right.
I mean, we see that, and it's there has to be some reform in place.
Especially seeing we're paying so much more than the rest of the country.
We are paying so much more than the rest of the company. And for those individuals who say, I'm not bothered by this because I don't own a car, I don't have car insurance. Well, you're taking Uber, you're taking Lyft. Those costs are going to increase because their auto premiums are increasing. You have products that are being delivered. FedEx, they have to charge more because their premiums are going up for their delivery fees. So it is an impact that really affects all New Yorkers. And, Utica National, we are a mutual insurer. We do not have shareholders. Our policyholders are our owners, and we understand how these rising costs affect our policyholders. And for them and really every New Yorker, in order to get affordable insurance, car insurance, we need availability of that insurance. We need to allow our New Yorkers to have options. And until we fix these issues that exist, we're going to become more limited in options. In 2025 alone, we had 11 carriers file to exit New York. Wow. Now, Utica National was founded in 1914 here in New York. We have our home office in New Hartford. We're a large employer. We're committed to remaining in New York, but it's getting challenging. And so these reforms will really help New Yorkers all around in allowing insurance affordability and availability.
Yeah. And I've got to say, I think the governor certainly has shown a certain amount of bravery and courage to go down this road, because traditionally the plaintiffs' lawyers or whatever it is have usually been heavily supportive of the Democratic cause and whatever it is. And yet she has said enough is enough. And there's been significant pushback from plaintiffs' lawyers in regards to our stance on this.
Well, and it makes it difficult for the rest of us. Number one, just in payment. Number two, I have to tell you, we were driving along the thruway and a huge chunk of scrap metal fell off a tractor trailer, and I did everything I could to avoid it. Did not, and there was significant damage. Made the claim to my insurance company, which was a national company, and they ultimately paid it, but they can't immediately cancel us. So I think it's because of the liability that insurance companies have and all of these scams, it's really coming back to bite the consumer.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that there are other states that have passed similar reforms.
Yeah.
And we can learn from those states. We can look at Florida, we can look at Georgia, we can look at Louisiana, where they've passed similar reforms. In Florida, where the reforms went in, I believe 2023, over 80% of drivers in Florida have seen reductions in their premium. I mean, the reforms work. We need the commitment to put them in place. Where we stand right now is a late budget. That is something that's not really unusual anymore in New York. But this is one of the main sticking points. And there are hopefully some strong negotiations happening to get these proposals into the budget and passed, because they're incredibly important to making sure our insurance remains affordable to our New Yorkers.
That we're paying as much as we are, $2,000 more than states around the country is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anything?
Can I ask about something? This might be 2 years back now, but I remember. Yeah, here we go. Supplemental spousal liability insurance. Do you remember this? This was something
I do.
that was in the short term, I guess, caused everyone short term to spike, but then you had to fill out a form to opt out of this. What was that, and did that come from the insurance industry? Or was that something that Albany and lawmakers did on their own?
That was something that Albany and lawmakers do on their own. At Utica National, we pay close attention to legislative activity, and we partner with industry organizations to see the legislation the bills that are being proposed, the impact it could have on the industry, and therefore our policyholders. So we do monitor things like that very closely, but that was something that was proposed by the legislators.
So supplemental spousal liability insurance covered injuries to a spouse as a passenger in a vehicle by the policyholder's negligent driving. This often added costs annually to providers. And what happened was it was an automatic thing.
It was an automatic thing.
If you're single, you don't even have a spouse, you were paying for this, even though there was nobody else really to insure there. It was. I remember a big deal because so many people complained about it, and I literally had to go and fill out a form to say I want to opt out of this program.
That's correct. Yeah.
I want to say that we're always searching for the best price we can get on insurance. I do have to say we went to the Forgo. I'm plugging now. With no benefit to me.
Good work, Joe.
But I think it's worth it. We went to the Forgo agency. They did a tremendous job with us. I do think, and I didn't realize this because you can do so much online yourself.
Yes.
But there's no one there to guide you and say, "Ooh, you're paying for this, and you don't have to be." Could be something. At the end of the day, we ended up with so much more coverage, bundling the house and the auto. We ended up with so much more coverage going through Forgo. And the price is it's not that much less, but I think we're paying $100 less a month or something which is significant. And our insurance company is Utica National. So,
well, thank you very much for your business. We appreciate it.
It's been a positive experience. The other problem is without someone to look at your account, we didn't realize our home was insured, way underinsured for replacement, way under. And had there been a disaster, there would be no the money wouldn't be there to replace the house.
That's correct. So those agents play a very important role in helping you evaluate your coverage and making sure you have where you need what you need when you need it.
And it was really good to like a hometown thing, hometown pride, when they came back and said the best deal you're going to get and the best coverage is through Utica National. Yeah. I love that.
Thank you very much for sharing that.
Right.
That's a great story. I mean, we're very proud of our work. We're very proud of our commitment to the area. My own shameless plug, we've got the Utica National Kids Run. The registration opens up on May 1st. So
great event.
Great event.
Awesome for kids.
Yeah, we sponsor the Boilermaker 5K. We have a very strong foundation that does a lot of philanthropic work in the area. This coming September, we're going to serve as presenting sponsor for the Mohawk Valley Gives Day that is done by the Community Foundation. You know, we're very committed to our area and to New York, and stand very much in support of the governor and these reforms that she's trying to put through, because we know how it'll benefit our policyholders and really all New Yorkers, even those, like I said, without car insurance.
Right. Do you insure yourself? I'm wondering, when that tractor trailer comes down Route 12, do you remember there was that terrible thing that they'd lose their brakes, and now you have all that concrete in front of the building, and of course the emergency brake tester or whatever, the pull-off. But that was just a spot. I think that 20 years ago, there were a number of times where the vehicles came down and lost their brakes.
Well, there was a story when they were running the Olympic torch throw.
Exactly, yes.
And Utica National had all of their people out there. And this is when Doug Robinson was president. He talks about he was looking over, and he looks up the hill, and here's a truck coming down. Smoke's coming out of the sides because the brakes aren't working. And he's sitting there going, I'm going to lose all my employees.
Wow.
And he ended up pulling off to the side. Now, was that before they had that brake thing for the trucks?
It was before the first time, because I recently, in the past few months, saw pictures of when the vehicle entered the building, and thankfully it was after hours and no one was inside. So thankfully no one got hurt, except I think the driver of the vehicle may have passed. But I mean, how far it went into the building and deep. Papers. It went in deep. And unfortunately, I'd like to say that's a rare occurrence. It is rare, but we have had people still run into that wall over the past
It's happened more than once. I grew up
for different reasons
south of Mohawk on Vickerman Hill, where the first in the area where they had the emergency truck pull off, where vehicles would come down that hill. That Route 12 and Route 28 is Vickerman Hill, which I think is one of the longest hills in New York State. Those trucks would lose their brakes in the 70s all the time, and it was a problem here and over there. So anything else you want people to know?
I just would encourage people to research this issue further, learn about it, but do it quickly, because we do have, we have the governor right now negotiating with the Senate and Assembly, and there is still time to reach out to your legislator to say, hey, I want you to support this because I support this because it benefits me. So the time is now. Act quickly, because these are very important reforms.
Your statistics saying we're paying $2,000 more than other states will stick in people's minds.
Well, here's a fun other fact. Our litigation and claims costs are 67% more than the national average here in New York.
Wow.
Last year alone, we had 40, for people who say, fraud isn't that prevalent. Last year in 2025, the DFS, which is our New York Insurance Department, had 44,000 reports of fraudulent auto claims.
Wow.
I mean, this is a real problem that needs to be solved, and the governor's trying to do it, and we really are hopeful that some of these reforms get passed, because it will be a game changer for New Yorkers.
All right. We really appreciate your time. Lydia Perez, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And listen, tell your insurance agent, consider Utica National. We did.
Absolutely.
And it was a good
I'm
move.
insured with Utica as well.
Awesome. So, Tim, thank you for this quick break. We'll come right back. John Decker from Great TV, Chief White House Correspondent, coming right up at WIBX.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor's spring sales event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Join us for Come to the Table, a truly special fundraising evening happening Friday, April 17th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. at the beautiful Harts Hill Inn. Experience stunning one-of-a-kind tablescapes designed by talented local artists, themed basket drawings, unique silent auction items, and a lively cocktail hour from 5:30 to 6:30. Enjoy exceptional food stations and desserts from Harts Hill Inn, all leading up to an exciting live auction hosted by MC Susan Nackley Mojave. For tickets and information, call 315-724-1718.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, do not overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Take advantage of our guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price or quote on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Furthermore, if within 90 days of purchase you see that mattress advertised for less, bring it to our attention. We will refund the difference. Selection, no one in New York State has all these brands under one roof except Mattress Express. Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest Black, Serta Eye Comfort, Avocado, and more. On New Hartford and Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. In Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. And Rome on Black River Boulevard. Open 7 days a week. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-1409. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-1409. That's 800-518-1409. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it's 8:53, and yesterday, if you were watching any of the White House press conference, which both Tim and I were watching.
Oh, yes.
We were watching the way people watch things today. We were watching, commenting back and forth via text message. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all of a sudden, John Decker pops up, and there he is. John is on the line right now. John is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. And, John, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thanks for watching. Caroline Leavitt's briefing that came a day after that 2-week ceasefire was reached between the U.S. and Iran. So obviously, lots of questions for Caroline Leavitt yesterday, and I had an opportunity to ask a few questions of her as well, and made some news in terms of both of those questions. She had a very harsh statement, not directed at me, but directed at NATO when I asked her a question about the president's meeting with NATO Secretary General. And then I also asked Caroline about, after 38 days of this conflict, are there more freedoms now for the Iranian people? And her reply was pretty short. She pretty much said no. There's no difference in terms of their lives after this conflict.
Well, the only difference there would be is they might be living in a destroyed home in rubble. She came out very fiery, saying that it's fake news, not true, being reported. Turns out the reports were true. Only 4 ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, which is 5 less than the day before. It does not seem that Iran, and now they're saying they aren't even going to meet with J.D. Vance this weekend. It does seem that this ceasefire is fragile at best.
Fragile.
Yeah,
fragile is a great word to describe it. I think that's a perfect word to describe it. This is just a 2-week ceasefire. And then, back to potentially, if there's no permanent peace reached, back to this conflict that began back on February the 28th. So that's what's at stake. And also what's at stake is, as you just mentioned, control of the Strait of Hormuz. It was, before this conflict started, free for all container ships, all cargo ships, all oil tankers to go through. Now, of course, Iran is deciding which cargo ships go through, and they often have to pay a toll of upwards of $2 million if it's an oil tanker to go through the strait. So that's what we're talking about right now. And the president, by the way, Bill, has said it is a priority to get the Strait of Hormuz reopened for all shipping traffic.
Yeah. Do you, so was Lebanon a part of, this was the big question yesterday, whether or not Lebanon was a part of this ceasefire. And the United States, we are saying it was not. Israel is saying it was not. And Iran is saying it is. The problem you have is the big common denominator in there is Pakistan, which really has brokered all of this. Pakistan saying it was a part of this. So there's so much mixed messaging out there. We really don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I agree. But, it's just so odd when you think about it. Iran is negotiating on behalf of another sovereign nation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're negotiating on behalf of Lebanon and proxies of Iran in Lebanon. So it's just odd to me that would be a part of the equation in terms of getting to a peace deal. But Iran says it is, and as you point out, that's a difference of opinion expressed by J.D. Vance yesterday, who was in Europe, leaving Hungary, and it's a difference of opinion also expressed yesterday by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who says that Lebanon was not a part of the equation in terms of this 2-week ceasefire.
I thought J.D. Vance's answer was interesting. He said, this is I think this might be an honest misunderstanding. I'm not sure it's that either, Tim.
Yeah.
Well, John, first thing, I'm glad you didn't fall in front of the flamethrower called Caroline Leavitt. But secondly, don't you think that at the end of the day, we can't really allow any sort of toll booths or whatever it is that we call as far as for the strait, because this is not the Panama Canal. This is you are affecting the free flow through a watertime area, and if you allow it here, the amount of other places on the planet where this could happen, it could just have catastrophic effects.
It could happen in the English Channel of all places. I mean, it's very important. It's a something that needs to be established right here and now. And by the way, beyond all of the reasons that you just said, it's also a violation of maritime law. What it is that Iran wants to do in terms of charging tolls for ships to travel through that very important waterway.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what today brings. It's this news cycle just moves so quickly, John. It's unbelievable.
It does, absolutely, yeah. Every day this week has been a newsworthy event, including the president's press conference and the briefing room that happened just 3 days ago. So we'll see what today brings as well.
All right, we appreciate it, John. We'll talk again next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Right, you'll do the same, and we'll be watching. Steve Ponte Mazda, creating the ultimate customer experience, continuing. That is their number one goal, which is why they only select the best late-model Mazdas to become Mazda-certified pre-owned vehicles, offering a 160-point inspection, balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower payment, as Rick always says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. family-owned and operated Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And the program brought to you by the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. You're hearing it here. They are now accepting new patients. If you need a new primary, and maybe yours is retired, you're making a change, they're accepting new patients today. Call the Falcon Clinic, 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
There are disputes, but the ceasefire still holds. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We've got so much on the table that we're willing to give to help the Iranian people if they just act normally.
White House Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett just told Fox Business he hopes there could be a final agreement this weekend when the U.S. and Iran negotiate. President Trump has warned the shooting could restart bigger and better with the U.S. military on standby until a final agreement is reached and fully complied with. However, Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv.
A significant statement just now from Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian saying that if Israeli actions in Lebanon continue, that it will render the negotiations that are set to take place on Saturday in Islamabad meaningless. Yesterday, we know the Israelis conducted dozens of airstrikes against Hezbollah positions inside of Lebanon, not just striking the southern Dakhla neighborhood in Beirut, but really the entirety of the country, including the Bekaa Valley and closer to the Israel-Lebanon border.
Those strikes killed more than 200 people. Lebanon's president calls it a massacre. And Iran says until Israel stops, it'll keep blocking oil and other shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices rising back up 5%. And also, he says, we go to the Bahamas, where a man says he's heartbroken his wife went missing. Brian Hooker, though, also under arrest. The American has not been charged, though, at this point.
He said he and his wife left shore Saturday night around 7:30 in their 8-foot dinghy, heading to their yacht. But due to rough weather conditions, Lynette fell overboard with the keys to the boat and then was swept away. Brian also said it took him hours to paddle back to shore so he could report his wife missing, which was around 4 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Fox's Chanley Painter. In Hawaii, a doctor's been convicted of trying to kill his wife while hiking on a cliffside last year.
We, the jury in this case, finds the defendant guilty of attempted manslaughter based upon extreme mental or emotional disturbance.
Gerhard Koenig could get 20 years in prison when sentenced in August. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that.